now tuned into the greatest.
So when that bag come, I won't fumble. I'm just stacking on the low, but hey, I'm tired of being humble. Let me get to it. That motivation music. Get control of your life, don't let nobody else do it. Cause we're not gonna have Metro S550s cruising. Feel like you winning on the ground.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, go ahead. Shoot us a quick take on a voicemail line, 219-413-9405. And of course, we will play it back on our next episode. And then shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code The Run Podcast. Now, this code can only be applied for first-time users on the mobile app or website, so I don't know about you, but you better go ahead and catch one of these baseball games, concerts, whatever is going on in your city, because summertime is here and you know that the shows are happening. You could probably also go to a training camp as well to see your favorite football team, since football is around the corner. And, my team been kind of going crazy in training camp. So the Atlanta Falcons, man, training camp, they in training camp, very intense. They fighting. It's looking good so far. And a lot of people seeing the fighting stuff. And, the training camp, when teams fight in training camp, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I love it. To me, this is something where we're establishing a new culture, a new era for the Atlanta Falcons defense. It's a huge boom for me. So the report of which came out about the training camp fight, it was with the rookie, James Pierce Jr. And he was making a lot of noise in practice, apparently. Had some good rushes off the edge and was getting under a lot of people's skin. So I love it. But here's what the report said. It said rookie edge rusher James Pierce Jr. and center Ryan Neuzil got into it, which prompted others to get involved. Primarily veteran edge rusher Leonard Floyd came to the Pierce's defense, which left the left guard, Matthew Bergeron, he jumped in to help Neuzil. Yeah, so offensive line, defensive line, brawling together. James Pierce Jr., he's the one that kind of started it and initiated it. And then, he get help from his boys, Leonard Floyd coming in, and then offensive line not going to stand down either. So, of course, they jump in, and then it becomes kind of a bigger brawl. Now, Raheem Morris and Jeff Albrecht, they broke up the fight. They ended up stopping it, but afterward, they asked Jeff Albrecht about what happened in training camp and how the fight came about. And Albrecht, he said, we're trying to develop a new culture, a style of play for sure. And he said part of that is violence in which we play, aggression. So the urgency and all of that. So today at times it went a little too far, but we got to learn how to manage that. You're going to get agitated, especially when you're playing a really good defense. The offense is going to get very agitated. So I love it. And to me, this is, something where I'm like, he's developing a culture. This is something I am not upset at all. I'm glad it's finally here. It's about damn time the Falcons defense show some aggression and begin to get under others' skin, because we didn't do that at all last year. Last year, we didn't get under nobody's skin. We didn't bother nobody. Quarterbacks was in the pocket all day, chilling, singing songs. It was let's go make a fool out of this Atlanta Falcons defense all last year. But now with the intensity picking up, setting the tone from Jeff Albrecht of what he's doing. Raheem Morris is actually doing a great job too so far in training camp from what I see. But these guys going at it, it tells me everything I need to know about where we're setting the standard when it comes to Atlanta Falcons football, specifically on the defensive end here, because I'm loving it. To me, all the aggression, the brawling, the pushing, the shoving, the stuff like that, it needs to happen, because it's only going to make everybody even more tough. So I'm loving that aspect on the defense there. You bringing in some dogs, obviously. Jalen Walker, he sat out. He was pretty inactive on that practice. But James Pierce Jr. also clearly showing that he's somewhat of a dog on this defense. He's been getting a lot of reps. It's been a good amount of rotation going from him having some first team reps, some edge reps, and then also going back to the second team. So apparently in the latest of the reports, they're saying that the defensive line has been getting mixed up a lot with the Atlanta Falcons, which I'm not mad at, because for once a person can finally say in that front seven, we actually have a lot of depth in that team, in that front seven, especially with everyone healthy right now. So I'm okay with Raheem Morris and Aldridge kind of going around and adjusting to see which players work best in which areas in that front seven. So I'm content with that. And as long as we can get pressure on other teams' quarterbacks when the season start, and we have that same edge that we have right now in training camp against these other teams come regular season, I'm content with it. I love it. And hey, that's all I'm asking for as of right now. Now, there is some more things going on because the Atlanta Falcons now, everybody know Young-Ho Koo, the kicker. Much loved in Atlanta. Done hit a lot of game winners. But Young-Ho Koo is probably about to lose his spot. Yeah, so Falcons, we signed another kicker, Lenny Craig, and he's German. He's mixed with something else, but he's a German guy, Lenny Craig. And he was booting it in training camp, apparently. So there was a kicking battle, and for the first time in training camp, it was field goal practice. So we had Young-Ho Koo. He was out there kicking, obviously. The new guy we just signed to a 3-year deal, Lenny Craig, was out there kicking. So for Young-Ho Koo, he kicked 5 field goal attempts. He was good from 37 yards, good from 40 yards, good from 47 yards, again, 53 yards, and he missed from another 47-yard attempt. However, that leaves him 4 for 5 on field goal attempts. Lenny Craig, on the other hand, the guy we just signed, very young, new to the Atlanta Falcons roster, he went 5 for 5. And he also hit a 55-yarder. So Young-Ho Koo, I'm sorry, man. I appreciate everything you did for Atlanta, but it might be time to chuck up the deuces, brother. It might be time to check up the deuces because Lenny Craig, this man made 5 out of 5 attempts. He was good from 33 yards, 37 yards, 47 yards, 50 yards, and 55 yards. And I'm content with it. I want to continue to see where it goes in terms of the pressure type of kicks because Young-Ho Koo has been clutch in the past. But if this dude, Craig, can hit 55-yarders consistently, we got to have him on the field kicking some field goals. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's a new era of kickers. We see a lot of kickers are, being able to hit 55 yards with ease, 60 yards with ease. It's becoming a thing where it's like, if your kicker can't hit 50 yards consistently, then you need to find somebody else. So this deal that I see here, man, with Lenny Craig, I'm loving it. I'm happy that we, have another guy that is kind of in a position battle. And everybody has the pressure on. That's been one of the things that our GM really said early on is that he wants everyone to feel pressure on not having a starting spot and everyone to have some sort of competition around their starting spot. So I'm happy that's the case right now. And then that brings me to the point of offensively. Obviously, we know there's a lot of talent on the offensive end. We heard Michael Penix Jr. He was saying the Falcons should be the #1 offense in the NFL. And I do not disagree with him. I think the Falcons have plenty of talent to be the #1 offense in the NFL. And when you look at the quarterback standpoint, the running back standpoint, and the wide receiving core, this team is loaded on all ends of the offensive standpoint. And even the offensive line isn't bad right now. So from the Atlanta Falcons, the expectations, I think they're extremely high for this offense. So far in training camp, I don't like to get, too far ahead of myself in training camp, but Michael Penix, he was putting in work. During the 11-11 work that they were having, scrimmaging against each other, he completed 13 of his 16 passes. Kirk Cousins, he was also getting some reps with second team. He had 6 of his 11. And then we had another guy who was getting some reps too. He only got 2, but he was 2 for 2, which don't really matter. But Michael Penix, again, completed 13 of 16 passes. And apparently he's getting Kyle Pitts involved. Now, I know the narrative on Kyle Pitts. Damn it. This is a rough narrative. Kyle Pitts does this for the last 5 years. He's been doing this to Atlanta Falcons fans first and everybody else in the NFL who'll be picking him up in fantasy football. But Kyle Pitts, bro, I believe in you. I believe in you this year. I'm seeing too many reports of Kyle Pitts got a longer stride this season. He looks a little bit quicker. He looks a little more agile. His hands look a little bit softer when catching the ball. I'm seeing a lot of these reports, Kyle Pitts. So me as an Atlanta Falcons fan, I want you to have success. I'm trusting that Michael Penix Jr. is going to get you the ball. He already been kind of boasting on, we got him the ball. You're going to be seeing a lot of that. He's been saying a lot of things like that since he's been in that starting quarterback position. So I'm hoping we see Penix Jr. get Kyle Pitts the ball. But Better yet, for everybody who ain't even Falcons fans, who don't really care how often he's getting the ball and if they're winning, for the sake of the fantasy players, Kyle Pitts, come on, man, do everybody right. Please, man, I'm just hoping that this is finally a change from what's been the case in the last 4 to 5 years of Kyle Pitts in the offseason getting the hype and then going back to the subpar type of play. We know he has skill. We know what he can bring to an offense. Is just if the offense is going to allow him to be that explosive. So we've seen glimpses of it last season. I know Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, I think he had like 3 touchdowns in that game. So there's a couple things where I'm excited to see, and I know the potential is there. It's just we have to click it, and it has to go together. So that's my main concern there. Other than that, though, man, I think the things we're seeing from the Atlanta Falcons training camp so far, it looks good. A lot of this stuff looks good, man. I'm hearing a lot of good things from the reports, and I'm seeing a lot of good things from the footage, the throws, the routes, the defensive coverages, and the intensity. Now, the fight, I know some people are probably going to say, why didn't you get the fight on video? Why didn't you play the video back? Apparently, there's like a rule where they can't record the video and post it online. So that's why there's no clips of the actual fight happen. You do have to actually go read a document and stuff and find that information. But I'm content with it, man. I'm happy that they're doing that. The intensity, the tone seems to be in the right area. And me as a Falcons fan, as you can tell, come on, man. As you can tell, I am ready. I am ready for the Falcons to go undefeated this season, bro. I'm ready. I know y'all about to call me crazy, but I'm ready for the Falcons to go undefeated and shut everybody up. I see the Falcons realistically maybe only losing like 4 or 5 games. I know in the past I've said they're going to win this many, they're going to win that many, they're going to win this many. But nah, bro, the Falcons can really win like 12 to 13 games, bro. I really see it happening because last year they were on the correct trajectory, but Kirk Cousins decided to play through his injury. That kind of led them to a downfall. Even when they had an awful defense last year, they still were able to win games because of the offensive side of the ball. Now that defense has been corrected, it's been fixed, it's more intense, the scheme is a lot better, and now the offense is still the same. We have more consistency in the quarterback position. The receivers, the running back is still there, the line. So I'm looking forward to the Falcons to be very explosive. I'm looking forward to them to win game after game after game. The biggest competition on the schedule I see so far, Buffalo Bills, Carolina Panthers, they're kind of a sleeper. I got to give them some respect in the division. And then the Minnesota Vikings earlier on. So other than that, man, I really see the Falcons like locking down, locking in, and let's have a great season. That's all I can say. Let's have a great season, man. Let's have a great season. It's about time, baby. It's about time. It's about time. Let's have a great season. Let's do it. All right. We got to go to a break. Let's take a break, and then we got some more stuff. Cleveland Browns, they've been in the mix as well. I'll touch on the Cleveland Browns and let you know who they're going to have at quarterback. It should be very much obvious at this point, but let's discuss because apparently we don't know anything. What we think may be the case, we don't know, apparently. So don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break and then we're going to jump back into it. It's halftime. We'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
All right, man. So Shedeur Sanders, man, look, let's just cut to the chase. Shedeur Sanders is gonna be the starter for the Cleveland Browns. Like, let's cut to the chase. Let's just cut to the chase, please. All right, welcome back to the Run with me, Manny Wilson. I appreciate you for tuning in, man. Of course, shoot us a quick take on the voicemail line 219-413-9405 if you hear something you agree with, you like, you dislike, you just want to get a hot take off. But the hot take that I'm about to get off is with the Cleveland Browns, man. Shedeur Sanders is going to be the starter for the Cleveland Browns. And I don't know why they're dressing it up like, oh, we don't know who it's going to be yet. And we're still trying to decide which quarterback is the perfect fit. Like, I don't know why they're doing all of this hee-hee-ha-ha stuff of we don't know who the quarterback is going to be. Look, if anybody right now has been seeing anything with the Cleveland Browns training camp, you know damn well Shedeur Sanders is going to be the starter come week 1. Because right now, Kenny Pickett, even if he was healthy, he wouldn't even be the starter. And Joe Flacco, come on, bro. You're not going to start Joe Flacco over a guy who has so much potential and can really help the franchise grow like Shedeur Sanders. Like, are you kidding me? So to me, the reports, yes, it's been coming out and it's saying, yeah, Shedeur is still yet to take the reps with the first team and all of that stuff. And he's still been on second team. And even after Kenny Pickett went down, there's still that whole conversation of Joe Flacco is going to be the one to now take reps with the first team. So it's been a lot of different things like that. But I'm more concerned, like, I don't understand why Shedeur Sanders isn't going to be the starting quarterback. Like, it should be 100% obvious. These throws that he's been making throughout training camp seems to be beautiful, and they're amazing. And then, honestly, even the reports that's coming from training camp of what Shedeur is doing in training camp are in his favor. You look at the reports. In the first day of padded practice, Shedeur Sanders went 9 for 9, and he was the only quarterback to throw a touchdown pass. Yes, the other quarterback, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, who is also dealing with the injury. But I'm not one to believe training camp hype and say, oh, well, he's thriving in training camp, so he's going to be the MVP of the season. But I'm definitely not a fool to be like, these throws he's making, these stats he's doing in training camp, clearly they're better than all the other options at quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. I don't think there's one single Cleveland Browns fan out there that's seeing these Shedeur Sanders throws and seeing the way he's tossing the ball up and thinking to themselves, oh yeah, I think Kenny Pickett could lead this team better and Kenny Pickett could do a better job. Just don't see it happening. I don't think people are thinking Joe Flacco could do a better job. Joe Flacco is the real leader of this team. We need to start him at quarterback. I doubt that's the case. So looking at all the information of what he's been doing and the way he's been running this offense so far in training camp, I think it's Shedeur Sanders to run away with. And then you look at it even further, the Browns are almost in a situation where they have to start Shedeur Sanders. Like, at this point, you go through all the hype of watching him make these throws in training camp. You see how great of a job he's done in training camp, the numbers that he's been doing in training camp, completing all his passes in a timely manner and accuracy, like the way he's been throwing the ball. It would almost be stupid not to start him, but the fans are going to want it no other way after showing them all of this footage. So if you go out there week 1 and you're not starting Shedeur Sanders, they're immediately going to look at you sideways and start chanting, "We want Sanders." Because why not? He's young. He has a bunch of potential ahead of him. And I mean, let's be real. Joe Flacco ain't the future of the franchise. Kenny Pickett ain't the future of the franchise. Shedeur Sanders is the only one with the potential to even put the franchise on his shoulders at this point. So I think if the Browns don't start him week 1, the fans are going to make a run for it themselves already. Like, I don't think it'll be any other way, but I give it, a couple more weeks. I don't know why they're taking so long and why they're holding out on announcing who's going to be the starter for the Cleveland Browns. Maybe it's a confidence thing. Maybe they want Shedeur Sanders to stay humble. Maybe they want Shedeur Sanders to keep that chip on his shoulder, to be at the best of his game and stay locked in like he was. Because from what I've seen in the press conferences and stuff like that, Shedeur has been locked in. He's been answering a lot of things as a leader of the team and as a true quarterback of the team. So maybe that's why they haven't announced that he will be the starter, because they want him to stay locked in. That's the only sense I can make of why he isn't already identified as QB1 for the Cleveland Browns when one guy is down and one guy is already old as hell. So I think Shedeur will 1,000% be the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns come week 1. They'll take on the Bengals. I'm looking forward to them winning. And I think actually at this point, man, I'll go with the Cleveland Browns to win week 1 against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals have been losing to the Browns in week 1 year after year for the past 3 years, and they've been an awful starting team. So I wouldn't even be surprised if the Browns did get a win week 1, and that would probably solidify Shedeur Sanders as a starting quarterback for not only this following season, but probably the next few seasons after that. So I'm going right there. Other than that, man, look, that is all I have for you. I appreciate you guys if you've been kicking it with me, listening to the episode, watching the episode on YouTube on a live stream. Man, I greatly appreciate it. And I'm gonna leave y'all with a positive note. And a positive note for this episode is just gonna be as simple as keep moving. It will always be ups and downs. But as long as we keep moving, we will get through it. I mean, there's a lot of different sayings that kind of back that up, that the whole still alive, but I'm barely breathing. The whole, if you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. Like, it's a bunch of things, but ultimately you just got to keep moving. So hang in there regardless of the ups and downs, man. And as long as you keep moving, you'll be all right. We'll be all right. Keep it at that. Other than that, man, I'm up out of here. I will probably not be back later this week because I'll be out of town. I'll be out of town. So you will probably get a rewind episode. But until then, man, share this with a cousin, a brother, an aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, coworker. I promise they not gonna mind. Just shoot it their way and say, hey, he was talking about our team. He's talking about your team. I think you will like it. So shoot it their way. Follow us on Instagram at The Run Podcast, TikTok at The Run Podcast, YouTube at The Run Podcast. Check out all the content in short form and long form. But other than that, man, I'm up out of here. I will see y'all later on next week, probably. And so on and so on and so on.